So what we're looking at is basically looking at the blockchain and cryptocurrency in more, in a fundamental detail. What we have noticed is basically that when you look at, there are two main problems with the blockchain technology, and not a problem with it, but there are some issues with it. And one is the volatility, and the other is the general acceptability by the brick and mortar company. So we decided to go take a deeper look into it. As a scientist, that's what we tend to do in the aerospace defense. That's my background in this area. So when you look at on a broader sense, I mean, there are two widespread use of this technology, and they can be categorized according to our evaluation is the transfer funds and the ledger. So these are the two basically area that it's currently trying to use. So, but this is more like we are looking at the capability of this technology, and the idea here is basically what we decided to do was try to look into the fact is there functionality out there within this technology that we can exploit and perhaps disrupt the industry. I mean, create something that would be unique and would basically would be generally accepted among the community. So when we got into the deeper sense of those things, one, we believe that the other aspect is that's being overlooked is right now is it also has the broadcast features that's in the blockchain. I mean, it's a very powerful way, and one is the backbone of the ledger. That's how you actually have the ledger, incorporated into the system. And the other thing is the digital currency. So you have to look at these digital currency from, if you look at, the term that physicists like to use, the fundamental standpoint. So what we decided to do was we said, okay, let's look at this broadcast and digital currency, and let's see in the current ecosystem where we can embed this thing. In our opinion, disruption does not come from, you just go about disrupt, you actually nudge the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to nudge it a little bit, just like the asteroid coming toward the Earth, you nudge a little bit and you deviate it from, and you create an entirely different concept behind it. So we have developed in our previous work a location-based marketing application, and then we decided to do was, okay, let's see, what we can do with this technology by integrating the blockchain with the location-based marketing. In other words, we are currently investigating a couple of platforms, and one of the platforms we're looking is perhaps the blockchain technology, I mean, is being, our location-based marketing is powered by blockchain technology, or the location-based marketing actually being used as one of the tools to actually sign up on those things. So what we decided to do, as I mentioned, we have two aspects of the broadcast and as well as the cryptocurrency. So when you look at the transaction, it's broadcasted. So what we want to do is we want to broadcast not on onto the network, the blockchain network, but we also want to go after the location-based marketing app to which this thing is actually connected to. And the other thing is the cryptocurrency. We want to get the cryptocurrency in the location-based marketing. We want to get in people to accept the currency as a tool to do some transaction. So these are the basically in a high level, as we call it, of 40,000 feet. This is the concept that we want to go after. Now, what we decided to do was, we say, okay, let's go one step further onto this thing. And what we want to do is, who actually this advertisement is going to go to? Well, the advertisement is going to go to not only the network, the blockchain network, but as well as the fact we integrated with the location-based marketing. So it's going to be integrated with that. So it's a unified form. So you have basically, suddenly you find out the broadcast feature is being used as the advertisement. So we looked at the advertisement aspects of this thing and see, yeah, of course there is a trust behind it. When you sign up to the blockchain, you come with the integrity as well as the fact, the whole details we all know about. The cryptocurrency. Now, when you go into the cryptocurrency, this is we found it very interesting here that when you have the crypto, we thought it was very interesting. When you have the cryptocurrency, you basically it's basically your dollar bill. The dollar that you have in your pocket. It comes with what? It comes with the GPS, as well as all the other capabilities that's embedded in it. That's what the cryptocurrency is. So imagine cryptocurrency as being your value of your country's currency, and you go everywhere. So what happens is now, when we looked at this thing, we said, okay, we have all these corporations, they spend money on advertisement and marketing, They use the Nielsen rating to go find out what geographically area that we actually go out and, what is the return on those things are. So we have another two concepts, because of the time restriction, I'll probably talk later about it, but we are looking into the geo-advertisement, geo-ad budget, and geo-ad revenue. So these are the corporations that they put in on a different area, like in Los Angeles, could be the Long Beach area that they have invested in the newspaper, in all these magazines, and so on and so forth, which is a brick and mortar that they try to do. So what we could do is we can get all of this information by having a cryptocurrency in our basically on the smartphone. So now our startup. So what we do is basically, briefly, what we try to do is we integrate the broadcast and the cryptocurrency with our location-based marketing application. So what benefit, so we decided to go in to investigate the market, and we try to go in and see, what benefit does it bring in. So we do have the location-based marketing application, a very versatile. I mean, we want to own the code, so we build it from ground up in zero. And right now, what we're looking into is to see that how we can integrate with the blockchain technology. It could be Ethereum or currency or so on and so forth. So what is the business model? Well, what we want to do is we want to actually approach the corporations, and what we want to do is we want to sell them the service. We want to sell them that we want to do a new way of advertising and marketing for them. And so what we do is we ask them to purchase our cryptocurrency. We tentatively named as a customer cryptocurrency, C-Cube. We like the cube part of it. And what we do is we display that on location-based marketing application. And every time the location, so whoever the businesses have signed up with it, we are looking into possibly, joining forces with some other corporations which are already into this location-based marketing application, or we have our own setup here. So all of these cryptocurrency that is available as an incentive, I mean, it's a budget that comes from the corporations, the advertisement budget that we want to actually use for that purposes. And what we like to do is now there are a couple of options that turns up. Say you show up in front of any store and you say, well, I want to actually avail the cryptocurrency and I want to get the deal and I'm done with it. So what happens is it's done. The number two option is you say, hey, I want to play the market now, because people want to actually play the market. Now this currency is backed by the corporations now. So you have a brick and mortar actually backing this thing up. So what this does is actually removes the volatility from the market, the volatility of this currency. Now what happens is basically, I call it, this is an enhanced version. Either you can play with the cryptocurrency, or either you can just keep it in your pocket and you gain enough value off to it. So whichever the corporation that has issued it, the currency, the corporation may want to give as an incentive that you add up enough cryptocurrency, you can use that to actually buy the corporation stocks. So now what happens is all of this information, okay, let me just go back again, if it's not shown here. Yeah, you can see very nicely. So all of this information is broadcasted. Broadcasted means it's advertised. So it's basically a form of a new form of the advertisement that can be used to actually go out besides the standard method that you use today to do those things. In conclusion, what I'd like to claim here is that basically the cryptocurrency, when given as in one form of incentive or something, it can be used as a stock, can be used for stock purchase, can be used to purchase their products, invest in cryptocurrency. You can, people in general can start playing the market on those things. And boosting corporation stock and redirecting corporation advertisement marketing and the cost. Thank you very much. Was I on time?
Take a round of applause.